8:12, welcome back this Tuesday morning. Today is a big day. It would have marked Leah Chase's 103rd birthday. This morning, her family joins us this morning because we keep her legacy alive and well here. They do. They work very hard. Here to tell us why that name is still very much so central to what it means to be New Orleans. This morning, we've got Edward Dick Chase IV, grandson of the late Leah Chase, Stella Chase Reese, the daughter of Leah Chase, also Tracy Haydell Griffin, the granddaughter of Leah Chase. Good morning to y'all.
Good morning.
It is an honor to see y'all. And you've been so busy, showstopper, that you find the time to come on into the Channel 4 studio.
You talk about continuing the legacy. That's her. That's who we all follow. So we all got to try to keep up what she would have been doing.
Right, right. Still cooking on TV too, which is very much so important.
Thank you, thank you.
So when you look back on today, having been, or what would have been, Leah Chase's 103rd birthday, is her 103rd birthday, what do you think she would be saying to us right now if she were here in this studio celebrating with us?
So my mother loved her birthday.
Yeah.
So, but she was a person who loved to give.
Mm-hmm.
So she would be saying, so what are we going to give to the customers today? Mm-hmm. What are we going to give to our community? Mm-hmm. How are we going to help our community get better? That was my mother. She loved to celebrate her birthday, but she was also the greatest giver that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And so that's what she would be saying today.
Very much so. Always a giver and a storyteller too.
Oh, a storyteller, yes. She told many, many stories, and we learned from those stories. All of her stories were about her coming up and how they gave back, no matter what they had. Little did they have, but their garden, they shared with their entire community. And she told us that's what life is about. Pray, work hard, but you have to do for others.
Yeah, talk about paying it forward. I think I remember reading years ago that your mother actually learned how to cook like this, right?
Yes, yes. And Chef can tell you more about the cooking she learned actually by cooking for her family, assisting there, and then going out to get jobs to help her other 13 sisters, you know, and brothers come along, because she was the oldest out of the 13 that still live there.
Yeah, the oldest does bear a responsibility, and with that, in this case, a legacy that's still here today. Talk to me about what it means to still be cooking.
That's the key, you know. That's what you saw my grandmother's passion was, to show her love for the community, of course, through culinary, of course, through hospitality, what we do at the restaurant. And growing up, they always taught us that hospitality meant service to your community. So to see her not only operate in the kitchen and show that love for everything you do, you talk about shining her pots. Her pots had to be shining. She appreciated every aspect of that business. And then walk out to the dining room floor to meet so many people. That was her love. Her love was of people. Her love was of the everyday person that came in. Share your story. I'm gonna share my heart on this plate. And let's just have a conversation and dialogue.
Yeah, and Ms. Tracy, when you walk into the restaurant, you still see that and that giving back that y'all still do as a family. I'm on the board for the Silverback Society, and so every year we have the luncheon over there, but the board meetings and whatnot. Why is it important not only to continue to talk about the legacy, but live it as if Ms. Chase were still here?
You know, living the legacy of Mrs. Chase is very important to us, because we continue to live in her spirit, in her joys, in her grace, and living to share so much with the community. So it brings us great delight and joy to have the young men of the Silverback come in, and we're able to teach etiquette and share in that, their life journey with them. So it's really a delightful experience to be a part of everyone's everyday activity as they come in to the dining room.
And we're looking at video right now inside of the Leah Chase School. And, you know, we've seen y'all in the news over the past couple weeks amid the ongoing conversation to keep those doors open. You've got the school board, which says that the school isn't meeting thresholds. But your argument here is that, listen, the school is in its second year. Give it a chance. And also, we're seeing from members of the community that perhaps this experiment is something that we need in New Orleans. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, when you look at the school, it has a state progress report of a B. It has over 90% attendance rate. It has high dosage tutors in that class. We're serving a population of over 85% Black and Latino. Over 80% are economic disadvantage. Over 16% have housing instability. when the average is 6%. So when you think of my grandmother, the person who had a can-do spirit, the confidence and the courage to achieve among any obstacle, that's what this school is doing. So when we talk about her giving the gifts on her birthday, we're asking people to give the gift of education.
Yes.
That is a pillar of our community, that's the pillar of our city, that's the pillar of our family. So anytime we can reach into our community and support our youth and educate our youth, we're not only growing that school, we're not only growing that community, but more importantly, we grow in this city that we all love.
Yes.
Now, the school board did table their decision last month. There's a meeting this week, right, if I'm not mistaken?
Correct.
What are you calling on folks to do?
Well, we calling on folks, and Tracy will tell you right now what we calling on folks to help us out.
We are calling for families to enroll their children into the Leah Chase School. We're calling on the community to donate to the Leah Chase School Sustainability Fund.
Which y'all already do.
Which we
Correct.
already do. We have a fund set up for the school. We're receiving donations through our foundation P.O. box. We're welcoming guests to come and drop off checks over to the restaurant or send them to the school board office for the Leah Chase School Foundation. We're also asking for the community to call their school board representatives and ask for them to vote in favor of the school that's safe haven for these families to remain open.
And I know we're really short on time here, but I really want to talk about the distinction here between a public charter and a charter that is run solely by the school district itself. Why is it important, do you think, for this school to be open in that capacity as a non-charter public school?
I think it's important for our community to have the priority of education and family to have choices, right? This is some of those families' last stay in terms of educating their schools. And when they're getting it right, this is about the overall health of the education system. When schools are providing education with a progress report of a B, 90% of those students are attending that class on a daily basis. High dosage tutors are in that class. When you see that success model of education happen, regardless of the system, we have to invest into that as a community. We have to invest in that as a city. So I want us all to remember the priority, and should always be the priority, is educating our community. That is the focal point of this conversation. That's the focal point of this school, and that should be the focal point of education.
Are y'all confident that the board will hear you on that?
We hope and we appreciate they will.
Yeah. But today we'll be celebrating at the Leah Chase School. We're bringing Queen's cakes, and they're celebrating my mother's life, actually having stories on my mother and learning a little bit. And we will be in the school and throughout the classroom. So, and Dookie Chase tonight, we're having a gathering. Come share your time with us on Queen's Day and come donate to the school.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. And I love when we show video of the school. There's that picture there, and the children get to walk past and see her face.
Yes.
I feel so honored as a kid who grew up here, not only to get to watch Chef Chase on TV with Kevin Belton, but my senior year at St. Aug, we had our etiquette class with Chef Chase and the late, great Sybil Morial. And I'm proud to say that I didn't get popped with a cooking spoon.
There you go.
Good to go. See, I learned how to properly scoop that gumbo out away from me.
You
Right,
did.
exactly.
That's away from you. Very
Such
good.
an honor to talk to y'all this morning. Thank you for all that you do and keeping some very serious conversations about our future here in the city alive. It does mean a lot. Thank y'all so much.
Well, thanks for having us.
And happy Queen's Day.
Yes, happy
Queen's Day.
Queen's Day over here. And again, remember the Chase family asking the community to honor Leah Chase's legacy by helping to support the Leah Chase School. Got those details on our website. We're back after this.